what's up guys, this is Eric from Cryptoviral TV and I'm here with
Matthew from Ethbits. I'm the co-founder and we are set to launch an exchange, a cryptocurrency exchange this month.
Wow, end of this month?
The end of this month, yeah.
End of this month, wow, awesome. Can you tell me a little bit more about your project and your platform?
Sure, obviously there's a lot of new exchanges coming into the play right now, but we differentiate ourselves because we offer copy trading, which means you can go on and log into our exchange, see how well other people are performing, and if they're performing well, then you can copy their trades.
Wow, that's a bit more traditional in terms of an approach. I mean, that's been done in finance, but not very much in the crypto industry. Yeah. But from my understanding and my homework, a little bit of DD, did do a little bit of DD in our project, that there are a few other companies who are offering the same type of platform. I believe Expert Options and Tradealize type of platforms are offering the same. What do you think would you say differentiates your platform from the rest of everyone else?
Well, basically, there are a few competitors right now in the blockchain space that are offering copy trading, but they're basing their whole business model on the copy trading feature. We offer it as a free extra.
So like a plus alpha.
Yeah. So you don't pay extra for it. It's all included in the fee.
Oh,
we're very competitive with the fee. Like, similar to finance, we get like 0.1%, and if you're actually a really good trader, the fee goes down. So.
Oh wow. So based upon how well you trade, your fee also is reduced.
Totally, yeah.
Wow,
we
awesome.
reward people for like performing well. So yeah.
That's weird. I mean, it's really good type of weird, but like that kind of sucks for the people who aren't good at trading. But
you can copy other people. Right?
Yeah, of course, right? Can you copy multiple traders at the same time?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you can assign like specific amounts of your portfolio to whoever many people you want. So.
Wow, that's really interesting. I'll have to. Are you guys only doing crypto to crypto, by the way?
No, we registered in Malta like 2 weeks ago, and we met some banks, so we'll be accepting fiat and for deposits and withdrawal. So definitely fiat, US dollars and euros.
US dollars and euros. Wow, that's amazing. You guys said that you guys are launching mainnet at the end of this month. What are some issues? I wouldn't call them issues, but like I guess hurdles that you guys have to face into going to mainnet. I mean, obviously every company has their bugs to patch and things like that. But aside from the simple lines of code that end up being the hurdles, what are some hurdles as a business that you guys had to go through to get to this stage?
Well, to be honest, it's like deciding on the levels of security for the exchange, because obviously if you keep all of the users' funds online, it's terrible. So we've had to really put security first in the business. And methodology is like most of it's cold storage or multi-signature. That's the main hurdle we've got through of how to get the funds. Like if someone wants to withdraw, how to get the funds to them quickly, but keep the funds safe while it's with us. So, but we've got a good process now. We're confident. So.
Interesting. Could you explain to me just a little bit about the technicalities of the process?
Well, do you know multi-signature? Multi-signature is basically like everybody's got a part of the private key, and to make a transaction, you need like 4 people out of 5. So not one person can run off with the money, and no hacker can basically get the private keys to take the funds.
Of course, they'd have to have 4 out of 5 private keys.
Yeah, they'd have to kidnap 4 people.
Yeah. Hey, that's actually been done before recently.
Really?
I think Skycoin, the staff members.
Seriously?
Some of this is online. This is not specifically fact checked. This is on CoinDesk and a few other media outlets where some of the staff members snuck into the CEO's house or one of the co-founders' houses at the middle of the night and stole they were trying to steal at the end of their ICO everything that was in cold storage.
Wow.
But they got caught. 9 people broke into one person's house there. And they were all staff members of that project. But anyway, this is not fact-checked information, just so you guys know. So in terms of, are you guys also doing peer-to-peer trading, or is it specified on the network?
No, we are doing peer-to-peer trading, but that's like an additional feature.
So that's also plus alpha, kind of like the
exactly.
trade option. Oh, that's very interesting. So as a platform, you guys are currently already launched and open, or is it that you guys are going fully to mainnet?
Well, the peer-to-peer platform is already there, launched, and people can trade it. But we did an ICO a year ago, so we've been saving the marketing funds for when we launched this month. So it's not been very popular at the moment because we haven't been marketing it, but that's set to change next month.
I'm sure that will be very interesting, and I'm sure that the Korean market will have a pretty decent play into that. At least I hope it does. The reason being because, so to tell you a little bit about the Korean market is that, so they say we had 20 to 30% of the entire retail investment trade volume back in November and December of last year, which is insane coming from a country of 44 million people. I mean, that's nothing. We're a third of the size of California. And for that type of expansion to happen, and I honestly think from the bottom of my heart, as someone who's part of the industry globally, not just in Korea, and with all my other clients based outside of Korea, that it's an industry that's definitely changing and incredibly fast. That will be I honestly think if we're not the top three, if we're not the top one, we'll at least be a part of the top 3 countries that get per capita to 20% in terms of trading into crypto. I think at least 20% of the population, because I think the statistic was we were at 31% between anyone that was of the legal age all the way to the age of 55, that 31% of that working population own crypto in some way, shape, or form.
30%?
Yeah.
Wow.
At the beginning, up to the beginning of this year. I mean, obviously that's changed a lot because Korea goes through these huge trends. And usually a lot of people look for just corporate investors and corporate partnerships, strategic corporate partnerships when they step into Korea, but I think that you can phase out the retail investors, that it's a big deal, that they do a lot of volume. And plus corporations tend to go OTC a lot nowadays.
So for the geographics, I mean, compared to the USA, I mean, the USA is always a place where you get most investors. Compared to the USA, how is it?
It's really hard to compare it to North Korea. North Korea. North Korea doesn't have any trade, or at least that I know of. I think there was like a hacking issue in Korea. In parts of North America or to Europe, it's really hard to compare. But I think compared to the biggest traders in the Asian market, which should currently be China, Japan, and Korea, and maybe even Singapore, but that we'll probably end up being the blockchain hub for all of Asia, due to the way that regulators are speaking, or at least the vibe of the community. There's also a lot of Chinese investors that are coming towards Korea in terms of investments, because investing into ICOs isn't legal in China and things like that. But I'm sure that regulations will play into a different field. But I think even compared to the States, and this is a big claim because the States have always been a conglomerate when it comes to finance and investments. Maybe not in terms of corporate money, but I think at least on a retail investor base, that Korea will probably be at least in the top 3 countries out there, and that's a big deal for us because that's never been a play aside from Samsung. Aside from Kimchi, Samsung, and maybe like LG, there haven't been big names that just come out of Korea globally. And I think it's a time for change for that. And in terms of blockchain, it's a little bit interesting to be a part of, to be able to help lay the foundation for who may be the next Mark Zuckerberg, or the next Jeff Bezos, or the next Bill Gates. It's interesting because Korea's never been at that level yet, except the mobile industry, and the expansion that's happened in the last 6 months has just been nuts. I mean, even some of the viewers and like, we would love to see you there. We'd love to.
Yeah, I think I'm
guys.
gonna come.
Yeah, I think there'll be a lot of the users and a lot of the investors will definitely want to welcome you to Korea, and I'd like to think that we're pretty welcoming as a country, and as showing love towards anyone who visits.
Sounds awesome.
It's I guess we call it Korean hospitality, but I think it's like that in most countries. Where do you see your biggest market currently?
Okay, well, basically in the USA at the moment, obviously, like there's quite a few legislations to jump through to have like security tokens and stuff in the USA, but to actually have users on our platform for the USA, you can do that. So yeah, but we're obviously for the bank transfers, it's Europe at the moment, and we'll be trying to expand that as we go. But yeah, basically like Europe and the USA. And now I've met you guys today, and we're hoping Korea.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we welcome anyone to Korea.
Korea sounds like a really buzzing place from what
It's been hard to take in. Like, there was Seoul Blockchain Week about 2.5 weeks ago, and Hash, Backblock, and a few other companies put that on. It was nuts. You had 1,000 people in the hotel lobby, and then you had 2,000 people that were somewhere in the conference, and then the executive lounges were fully booked, and it was just back-to-back meetings for most people, and that's usually a moment to talk, but yeah, it's definitely a booming market. Guess how many conferences / meetups that were open to the public that have been held in Korea since the beginning of this year till like end of last month? Just in Seoul.
Okay, yeah, like what?
672 when I checked on July 24th. That's just off of OnOffMix and Meetups.com alone. So all the private events that weren't open to the public aren't even on there as record. I'm gonna guess anywhere between 700 to 800 events have been held in Korea just from the beginning of this year.
Well, that's incredible.
Yeah. Right? From such a small demographic country, it's very interesting.
But meetups like small groups of people, so yeah, I can imagine that.
So not just like 20, 30 people meetups, like usually meetup in Korea are anywhere between like 80 to 300 people in a room. But people talk about their projects, networking, things like that. So, and then the big events are like 1,000 people.
How's the language barrier in Korea? Is it
Translators. We have electronic translators for every other defense. But language barrier, no, everyone's pretty decent at English or Chinese. So I don't think, at least in this industry, I think that's insane that there's so many people who speak English and Chinese. I did not know that. And you see here, and yeah, it's a very interesting time for expansion. And then my last question, this is more about, I guess, the industry than about your project. Where do you see the blockchain industry evolving in the next year or two? Do you think mass adoption will happen within the next couple of years?
Well, I think you have to look at like the utility of the actual tokens. The way I see it, the big potential is security tokens. So like releasing equity on the company with tokens. I mean that's
alternate assets.
Yeah. But obviously, like the anti-money laundering is a big place. So without having to be a accredited investor, there's a good opportunity there, and I think that's the way it's going to grow. As for actual day-to-day payments and stuff, still Alipay and stuff like that, they're still going to be the
They can't just make them go away.
No, and when you have to wait for blockchain transactions, so obviously another big
TPS and block size obviously is.
But with like EOS stuff, things like that, they are getting around the transaction speed. And hopefully, when one of those gets
scalable happens.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Do you see that happening in the next couple of years? Or
5 years?
5 years?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
a little bit longer, but yeah, I mean, so any project aside from your own that you're most interested in, and I mean, it can be big one for any project of any size, pre, post, ICO, mainnet or not, that you find yourself most interested in.
Okay, well, I haven't invested in it, but one of the projects that I'm quite interested in is XYO.
XYO?
Yeah, they've got like these little keyrings, and they use a network of them. So basically, if you use your keys, you can find them. And just by having the keys, you like mine the coins as well. So it's really quite. That's one step to main adoption.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean the actual token itself, I'm not really that interested in, but the actual
Platform and what they're building.
Yeah.
It's
So
very
it's
interesting.
really amazing.
Thank you so much for your
No,
time.
thank you very much.
No, of course. We're actually going to look at this camera. We're going to say bye, but we're going to say it in Korean if you don't mind.
How do you say
Or
it?
instead of saying bye, we're going to say thank you. 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
Yep. Okay, a little bit faster. One more time.
감사합니다.
Yeah, perfect. 1, 2, 3. 감사합니다.
감사합니다.